What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks, back with another video taking a look at SOS Limited, ticker symbol SOS. It's a stock that I've been watching for the past couple of days, especially this past week. And with recent developments, and the price of Bitcoin going up and everything going on in the crypto world, I really like this stock. So I thought I'd make a quick video, highlight what I see with the stock, where I see it going, but also highlight some of the risks as I always do, talk about key levels of support and resistance for the stock. And based on that, hopefully you guys can make an educated decision on whether this is something that you'd like to own or not. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on SOS are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into it. So right out the bat, right, what we see in this past five trading days is SOS, really took off. Not this past week per se, and it went from kind of the 9s and ended in the 11s with a nice run on Wednesday going into Wednesday, sorry. But with a little bit of a pullback kind of to end the week. So let's take a look real quick at what's been going on with this stock. So first things first, one thing that I want to point out is they are notorious for doing offerings. Nano Dimension is a similar stock, right? But SOS, I'm not even going to go into the articles because I don't think the details really matter as much. But what I do want to talk about is they have been notoriously just doing offering on offering, right? So $4 million offering December 22nd. January 8th, 25 million direct offering a couple weeks later. And then we come here on February 11th, exactly a month later, they're doing another 22 million ADS and warrants offering, right? So offering on top of offering on top of offering, which is okay and not okay at the same time, right? Okay, because it typically raises money for the company to be able to invest in what they are trying to do with the goal of, getting to that level faster. And especially, what we've seen in the past few months is as these companies that usually were trading not that highly, if you take a look at SOS's chart, right? It was not a company that was trading at a very high price, right? I mean, even as of like early February, it was a $3 stock. Now it's trading in the, above $10. So it makes sense that they offered, they did an offering, at a $10 price point, which is what their recent one was. So the warrants were exercisable immediately and have an exercise price of $10. That included 8.6 million ADSs and warrants to purchase another 4.3 million ADSs at a $10 price point. That's not too bad, right? That was just a couple days ago, and as you could see, that's when it was kind of making that high, or trading in the 12-13s, but made that high of $16 in the pre-market before pulling back to the $11. So the $11 mark is not too far off from the $10 share offering price that we see there. So that's not bad news, you guys. This goes into more details if you care, but they pretty much got $86 million from that offering. And so let's take a look now at what they talk about. So they say that they are going to use the proceeds from the offering to develop their recently launched cloud cryptocurrency mining and cryptocurrency security and insurance business as well for working capital and general corporate use. So again, what they're doing is cryptocurrency mining, cryptocurrency security, insurance business. Great news, right? If that's ultimately what they do, then having this money might help expedite a little bit of that. But another thing that I want to talk about here, news from this past week, is their stock jumped 200% as they received 5,000 crypto mining rigs, right? And the way crypto works is you have to mine it. So that's what it's referring to here. They got the equipment needed to start mining it. So they got 5,000 mining rigs 5 days ahead of schedule. They could do this much Bitcoin hash power and 350G Ethereum hash power. Not going to pretend like I know what that is, but it sounds cool and investors were excited. So I think that that's positive news for the company. What we're talking about here though is this is when it started trading in the 15s, and then it pulled back because of the offering. But the reason I really like that is, hey, if this news was exciting enough for it to take it to 15, 16, because investors see that potential, right? And the only reason it was really hurt is because of, the offering that they did. Then I think that, once that offering is set aside, I think we, maybe push back there. So I currently own a little bit of shares in SOS, building out my position, but more so I own some longer term options contracts that I'm really hoping to take advantage of as the price moves up. So now let's go back to the chart here. Had a nice green day on Friday, but let's talk more about future levels of support, future levels of resistance, and we can see if we maybe get an indication of where the stock could be headed in the near future. So let me get out the horizontal line for us here, you guys. The first level of resistance that I see here is kind of at this level in the mid 12s, right? 12 high 40s, pretty much you can call it $12.50. And the reason I drew that line right there is because we got rejected on Friday. We got rejected in the first hour on the day before. And then earlier in the week, right, you see a lot of these candles are hitting up against it, but not quite able to make above it, I think. The next level after that is coming in right here in the high 13s. You can call it the $14 mark. It doesn't really matter, right? Plus or minus 10, 15 cents almost with these levels. And then obviously the last one that we have here is that all-time high that we set, but I'm going to put it right here because I think that $16 mark we've only broken in the pre-market. So I'm actually going to put it right there for us in the high 15s. And then that kind of sets us up for the all-time high. For a level of support, since we are kind of on a roll here, let's get that out of the way as well. I think that this mid-10s, why does this keep going away? This mid-10s should act as a good level of support for us if we were to go down, and we'll see how that goes. So now let's go to the daily chart and we'll see what we see here, you guys. And let me get the indicators for us and we can see where we go. So first things first, because they are notorious for doing offerings, one thing that you can kind of count on is, and that I'm hoping for is to get the pullback to be able to add. That's what happened this past week. I added a little bit, or I started a position kind of in the 7s, and then it really rushed up, and then it came down, and I added a little in around the $10 mark this past week. And now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for it to seeing what it does. With the way Bitcoin is running, I would not be surprised if it continues to run, but that's okay. I've got a little bit of position that I'm hoping to take advantage of and waiting for a pullback. Remember that the 8 EMA is kind of a good indication of where the stock is relative to how it's been in the past few trading days, weeks, and a big difference from the stock and the 8 EMA indicates that it might be a little bit extended. So, giving it some time to come back might not be a bad idea. With SOS though, I remain bullish, and especially with the way Bitcoin is running, I do think that there's a lot of potential. So what I'm looking for this week, look, on the downside, let's cover that, and then we'll cover the more exciting upside. On the downside, we've got good support, I think, in the mid-10s, so 1048, 1050 pretty much. If that doesn't hold, we could pull back all the way to the 8 EMA in the $9.11. Now, 10.5 and 9.11 on the downside. What do we have going for the upside? $12.46 is the first level that I pointed out to you guys. That's what I'm watching on the first kind of level, which, we closed about a $1.20 something, but we're within $1 of that in the after hours, 11.55. Once it breaks 12.46, I'm looking for a push to 13.95 and then a push towards the 15.90s. Look, the way it's traded this week, guys, I would not be surprised if we see a couple of these levels broken as early as tomorrow, if not the first half of this week, right? So if not, then the first half of this week. So mid 12s, 13.95, pretty much that 14 level, and then the high 15s are the levels that I'm watching out for. One other thing that I want to point out to you guys is, look, when we saw that dip because of the offering, take a look here, you guys. 2 red candles taking us all the way down to the 1061s, as we went as low as 885, but we came right back. And I think that this stock has been, relatively strong. Dips have been bought, so continuing to monitor that and see how that goes. But again, with the way Bitcoin's running, I do see great potential in this, and I think that, you know, this stock has great potential. Of course, what does concern me a little bit is the distance between the 8 EMA and where we are currently. So I do think eventually that, you know, that's going to go away, whether the 8 EMA comes up to where the stock is or the stock comes down to visit the 8 EMA. But if the last few days are any indication, then I think it'll continue. So this week I'm hoping for it to break the mid 12s, make a push towards 14. If we can get that in the next couple of days, meaning the first half of the week, then I think, you know, all-time highs in the high 15s, low 16s are well within reach for SOS. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Make sure to always do your own research before investing. This is just what I see in the stock, so I thought I'd share with you guys. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on SOS are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.